Billionaire businessman Donald Trump has led the pack of Republicans ever since the day he declared his intentions to run for president of the United States. More than a dozen candidates tried to stop him. All but two have dropped out of the race. That's despite, or maybe even because, of his harsh views on Muslims, Mexicans, and China. Here's where things stand right now. Trump has the support of 43% of Republicans across the United States. That's more than 12 points higher than his closest competitor. Candidates are awarded delegates after each round of voting in each state. On the Republican side, 1,237 delegates are needed to win the party's nomination. Trump is the only candidate who's more than half of the way there. He has 739. Trump's Democratic challengers, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, have come out strongly against him for some of his more extreme views. That includes his views on China. CCTV's Nathan King has insight into how Donald Trump is making China a campaign issue.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Ever since Trump announced his run for U.S. president, he's had China on his mind.
China, 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 China. I have to have my China. China, China, because China, 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 China.
This internet compilation of his China comments has gone viral, but it's no laughing matter.
The $400 billion a year that we're losing with China, that's going to be turned around.
Trump thinks the trade deficit with China means the U.S. is somehow losing what he implies is a trade war. Many economists say his math and his reasoning is wrong.
He's acting as if a trade deficit means you lose. A trade deficit means you're paying money for goods that are coming from another country. They get the money, you get the goods. That's not a loss. If it was a loss, no one would do it.
Despite having many of his trademark goods made in China, Trump says U.S. negotiators have been amateurs when it comes to dealing with Beijing. He also accuses China purposely of undervaluing the yuan. But here, many disagree with Trump again, pointing out the yuan has appreciated 30% over the dollar since 2005 and may now be actually overvalued. Trump supporters back him nonetheless.
They think it's China currency, even though it's not connected to China currency. What they know is that 15, 20 years ago, there were a lot more jobs in their town than there are now.
Many of Trump's white working-class supporters lost ground in the economic transformation of the U.S. While U.S. manufacturing jobs have been lost, many economists argue that that has more to do with China's accession to the World Trade Organization than a trade deficit or currency exchange rates. And Trump's threat to impose tariffs, in fact, could hurt Trump supporters more than anyone else.
It's not a wise policy from the American perspective. Trump even hints at this. He says, well, I'll make a deal with him. I know how to make deals. We'll make a bargain. He doesn't really want to impose the tariffs. He wants to threaten the tariffs. The problem is it's risky, and if he had to go through with it, it would hurt the American poor more than anyone else.
It's not just Donald Trump when it comes to fears over trade, be it trade with China, Canada, Mexico, or Europe. All the major candidates left in the race for the White House say they will do something to shield the U.S. from foreign competition. This may be just campaign rhetoric, but with so many angry and restless American voters, they may hold their candidates to their promises. Nathan King, CCTV, Washington.